Welcome to a journey through the stars and the earth. Imagine you are standing on a high mountain peak at night, looking up at a sky so clear it looks like a blanket of diamonds. For thousands of years, the greatest minds in India looked at that same sky and realized something profound. They realized that the universe is not just a collection of random rocks and gas. Instead, it is a living, breathing body where everything is connected. This is the heart of Samhita Jyotish, and today we are going to tell its story in a way that helps you understand how the heavens talk to our world. In the vast ocean of Vedic knowledge, astrology is often called the eye of the Veda because it helps us see what is otherwise hidden. Astrology is divided into three big branches. The first is Siddhanta, which is all about the math and the movement of the planets. The second is Hora, which is what most people know as personal horoscopes or birth charts. But the third branch, the one we are exploring today, is Samhita. While Hora looks at the individual, Samhita looks at the collective. It looks at nations, the weather, the economy, and the fate of humanity as a whole. It is essentially the cosmic weather report for the entire planet. The most famous guide on this subject was written by a brilliant sage named Varahamihira. His book, the Brihat Samhita, is like an encyclopedia of everything. He believed that the movements of the planets and the stars create vibrations that ripple down to the earth, affecting everything from the price of gold to the arrival of the monsoon. He taught us that if we learn to read these signs, we can prepare for the future instead of being surprised by it. Think of Samhita Jyotish as the study of patterns. For example, when a great planet like Jupiter moves from one sign to another, it does not just change the luck of a few people. It changes the wisdom and the philosophy of the entire world. When Saturn moves, it might signal a time of hard work or a shift in how governments function. Samhita Jyotish tells us that the sky is a mirror. If the sky is turbulent with eclipses and rare alignments, the earth might mirror that with social changes or natural shifts. One of the most fascinating parts of Samhita is how it looks at natural events. Take eclipses, for instance. In ancient times, an eclipse was seen as a moment of high tension in the cosmic energy. Samhita explains that during an eclipse, the normal flow of light is interrupted. This does not mean something bad will happen, but it means the energy is sensitive. It is a time for prayer and quiet reflection, rather than starting a new business or a war. Similarly, the appearance of comets, which the ancients called ketus or hairy stars, was studied carefully. Each comet had a different shape and tail, and depending on where it appeared, the sages could predict if it meant a period of abundance or a period of challenge for certain regions. But Samhita Jyotish is not just about the sky. It is deeply connected to the earth itself. It includes the study of earthquakes, which were believed to be caused by various atmospheric and subterranean energies. The sages noted that animals often behave strangely before the earth shakes. They noticed that the wind might blow in a specific direction, or the clouds might take on unusual shapes. By recording these observations, they created a system to understand the health of our planet. This wisdom also extends to the very ground we live on. Samhita covers the art of Vastu Shastra, which is the science of architecture. It teaches that the way we build our homes and cities should be in harmony with the cardinal directions and the magnetic fields of the earth. If a city is built with the right flow of energy, its people will be prosperous and healthy. If it is built against the laws of nature, it may face constant struggles. Even the way we plant crops is part of Samhita. There are sections that explain which planetary days are best for sowing seeds and how to predict the rainfall for the year by observing the moon during certain months. Now you might wonder why we should care about this in the modern world. The reason is simple. We often feel disconnected from nature. We live in air-conditioned rooms and look at screens all day. Samhita Jyotish reminds us that we are part of a much larger system. When we understand that the movement of Mars might correlate with the rise in global tension, we can choose to be more patient and peaceful in our own lives to balance that energy. This brings us to the beautiful world of remedies. In Samhita, a remedy is not just a ritual for one person. It is an act of healing for the whole world. Because Samhita deals with the collective, the remedies are often about community and nature. The first and most powerful remedy in Samhita is the protection of nature. Since the planets represent different energies of the divine, and those energies live in trees, rivers, and animals, taking care of the environment is considered the highest form of planetary healing. For example, if there is a prediction of drought, the remedy is to plant more trees and create water reservoirs. This is practical wisdom disguised as spiritual advice. By planting trees that are associated with specific planets, such as the peepal tree or the neem tree, we are literally cleaning the air and inviting better rainfall while honoring the cosmic energies. Another major remedy is charity. Samhita teaches that during difficult cosmic alignments, the best way to protect a community is to take care of its most vulnerable members. Feeding the hungry, providing clothes to the poor, and making sure that animals are well fed are powerful ways to shift the collective energy from scarcity to abundance. When a whole town comes together to help those in need, the negative impact of a difficult planetary transit is greatly reduced. Sound and vibration also play a huge role. The chanting of specific mantras or the playing of sacred music is believed to clear the atmosphere. Just as a loud noise can shatter glass, the right frequency of sound can harmonize the environment. In ancient times, when a king was told of a coming challenge, he would organize large-scale prayers or musical festivals to lift the spirits of the people and create a shield of positive vibration over the land. Meditation and collective silence are also recommended. When a large group of people sits in silence with the intention of peace, it creates a ripple effect. Samhita says that the mind of the collective is very powerful. If we all focus on fear, we attract fearful events. But if we use the tools of Samhita to see a challenge coming and respond with calm and prayer, we can actually change the outcome. There is also the remedy of ethical living. This might sound simple, but Samhita emphasizes that the moral health of a society determines its physical fate. Honesty in business, kindness in speech, and respect for elders and teachers are considered protective layers. A society that values truth is said to be naturally protected from many of the harsher effects of planetary changes. In summary, Samhita Jyotish is a beautiful story of connection. It tells us that the stars are not just faraway lights but influencers that guide the rhythm of our world. It teaches us that the earth is a sensitive being that responds to the heavens and to our actions. By observing the signs in nature, the behavior of animals and the movements of the planets, we gain a map of the future. And by using the remedies of nature conservation, charity, sound and ethics, we become active participants in our destiny rather than just passive observers. It is a science of hope. It tells us that no matter how difficult the stars may look, there is always something we can do to bring balance. Whether it is through planting a garden, helping a neighbor, or simply sitting in quiet prayer, we have the power to harmonize our world with the heavens.